Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, you're now watching another episode of Reed Gaming. I'm your host, Reed, and today we're getting into something a lot of people have never heard of before, the Testament of Joseph. Now, before we jump into this audio book, I want to give you some context because this isn't just some random internet book. This text is ancient, and it sits inside of a group of writings known as the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs. Each one is basically the last words of the sons of Jacob, and they were copied and studied in Jewish communities centuries before Jesus' time. The reason this is important is because when we found the Dead Sea Scrolls, fragments from this same collection were found in the scrolls of Qumran, and this tells us something. The Essenes, this disciplined, purity-focused community living out in the desert, were using these writings as part of their spiritual life. Whether people know about this text or not doesn't change the fact that it's ancient, it's historical, and it gives us a deeper window into Joseph's struggle and the forces that tried to destroy him. Think of it as the story of Joseph expanded. Let us begin.
The Testament of Joseph, the final words of a righteous man. In the fading light of his years, Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob and Rachel, gathered his sons and brothers around him. His eyes, still filled with peace and wisdom, looked upon them with quiet strength.
My brethren and my children, hearken to Joseph, the beloved of Israel. Give ear, my sons, unto your father. I have seen much in my life, envy and death and betrayal, yet I did not lose the truth of the Lord. My brothers hated me, but the Lord loved me. They sought to destroy me, yet God protected me. I was sold into slavery by my own blood, carried into Egypt by the Ishmaelites, yet the Spirit of God was with me, even in chains. I served in the house of Potiphar, a man of Pharaoh's guard, and there I saw the deceit and darkness that lives in the hearts of men. But I did not turn from righteousness, for I remembered the God of my fathers. My sons, know this: the heart that loves God will never be forsaken. When I was cast into a pit, he heard me. When I was sold for silver, he still guided my path. When I was forgotten in prison, he remembered me. The Lord gave me favor even among strangers, and though I suffered for a time.
So I just want to point something out really quick. When I was reading this, I was like, dang, I kind of felt like I've heard this phrasing before. And I was also reading a book around this time too called The Scrolls from the Dead Sea by Edmund Wilson. Very old book, good book. If you can find this book, you should definitely take a read. It is very good stuff. And he pointed it out too, that it's kind of reminiscent, or maybe Christ is doing a callback to this in Matthew 25 when he's doing the parable of how the Son of Man will judge the nations, where it says, when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he'll sit on his throne of glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, come you, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Now, I'm not the type of person that believes in coincidences. So in my mind, I'm like, maybe this is a callback from Christ to the Testament of Joseph. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. You do it as you will. Let's continue.
My faith was never shaken. He who endures in purity and patience shall one day see his trials turned into triumph. That is the way of the Lord.
And just another quick chime in. Everyone's going to deal with trials and tribulations, but if you stay with the Lord, follow him and be obedient, your trials and tribulations will turn into triumph. They will. I am a living testament of that. I am a living testament of that. So stick to your guns, stick to being obedient, stick to following the Father. I promise you, whatever you're going through, you will come out on the other end of it. I promise. Let's continue. All right.
Do not let jealousy or deceit take root in your hearts, my children. For I have seen what envy can do to a man, and it destroys him from within. Love your brothers, honor your parents, and never forget the Lord who delivers in secret. Remember this above all. God's favor rests upon those who remain clean of heart and true in spirit. Even in darkness, his light will find you.
And so Joseph, son of Jacob, began his final testament, a story of faith unbroken, purity unshaken, and a life that proved God's hand never leaves those who love him.
I struggled against a shameless woman, urging me to transgress with her, but the God of Israel, my father, delivered me from the burning flame. About that time, the Memphian woman, the wife of Pentephris, came down in a chariot with great pomp, because she had heard from her eunuchs concerning me. She told her husband that the merchant had become rich by means of a young Hebrew, and they said that he had surely been stolen out of the land of Canaan.
Now, therefore,
She said,
render justice unto him, and take away the youth to thy house, so shall the God of the Hebrews bless thee. For grace from heaven is upon him.
Pentephris was persuaded by her words, and commanded that the merchant be brought, and said to him, What is this that I hear concerning thee?
Now, just to give a little bit more context, because he says the Memphian woman, and the reason why you should know the full grasp of just the Memphian woman in that title is not just saying, oh, she's from the city of Memphis in ancient Egypt. The city of Memphis in ancient Egypt was like, think of it like the Bay in California. It is a prestigious place. People got money, people have power. They got it going on there. So this is a very powerful woman that has money and eunuchs and servants that do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And that's why she's able to get this information. So the Memphian woman is huge here. You definitely want to keep that in mind, because it gives a little bit deeper thought process into her mind as she navigates to try and get Joseph. You already know the story of what she's trying to do, but there is a little bit more in play here, because you get to see, oh, her background. This isn't just a random thing. This is like, okay, Memphian woman, powerful person, flexing her power to get what she wants. Let's continue.
That thou stealest persons out of the land of Canaan, and sellest them for slaves. But the merchant fell at his feet and besought him, saying, I beseech thee, my lord, I know not what thou sayest. Pentephris said unto him, Whence then is the Hebrew slave? He said, The Ishmaelites entrusted him unto me until they should return. But he believed him not, and commanded him to be stripped and beaten. When he persisted in his statement, Pentephris said, Let the youth be brought. When I was brought in, I did obeisance to Pentephris, for he was third in rank of the officers.
Oh, and to give you a little bit more context, for whatever reason, in the testament of Joseph, Potiphar and Pentephris are the same person. I don't know why they're using a different name for this individual here, but they are the same. Just so you're not confused of this Pentephris person. I know you're probably like, who is Pentephris? It's Potiphar, same guy. Let's continue.
Of Pharaoh. He said to me, Are you a slave or free? I replied, A slave. He asked, Whose? I said, The Ishmaelites. Then he said, How did you become their slave? I answered, They bought me out of the land of Canaan. He said to me, Truly, thou liest. And straightway he commanded me to be stripped and beaten.
That's a crazy punishment. It's just like, hey, strip him and beat him, because I don't believe what he talking about. The other dude, the merchant, I done did that to him. We gonna get to the bottom of this. I don't know what the truth is, but somebody lying, and the stripping and beating is not working on him. Maybe it's gonna work on you. That's a crazy punishment. That is a crazy punishment. Strip him and beat him. Okay. Let's continue.
Now the Memphian woman was looking through a window at me while I was being beaten, for her house was near, and she sent unto him, saying,
Thy judgment is unjust, for thou dost punish a free man who hath been stolen as though he were a transgressor.
And when I made no change in my statement, though I was beaten, he ordered me to be imprisoned until he said the owners of the boy should come. The woman said unto her husband,
Wherefore dost thou detain the captive and well-born lad in bonds, who ought rather to be set at liberty and be waited upon?
For she wished to see me out of a desire of sin, but I was ignorant concerning all these things. He said to her, It is not the custom of the Egyptians to take that which belongs to others before proof is given. Therefore he said concerning the merchant, as for the lad, he must be imprisoned. After 24 days came the Ishmaelites.
Whoa, wait, stop. So he was in jail at this point for 24 days. 24 days because he didn't want to tell, hey, I'm actually Joseph, son of Jacob, out of the land of Canaan. Release me. He stuck with it 24 days. Do you know how much dedication and determination that is to stick with that? To stick with something like that. Your freedom is at risk. You done got stripped and beaten. I know dudes that when the stripping and beating part came, they was like, hey, hey, whoa, hold on, naked. I gotta get naked, you gonna beat me? No. I am the son of Jacob. I am the son of Jacob. Release me. Okay? I am not doing this. But then you get locked up for 24 days. 24 days. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's continue.
For they had heard that Jacob, my father, was mourning much concerning me. They came and said unto me, How is it that thou saidst that thou wast a slave? And lo, we have learned that thou art the son of a mighty man in the land of Canaan, and thy father still mourneth for thee in sackcloth and ashes. When I heard this, my heart melted, and I desired greatly to weep. But I restrained myself that I should not put my brethren to shame.
All because he didn't want to put his brothers to shame. All of this. He like, I'm rolling with this. I'm not putting my brothers to shame. I am a slave. My father is distraught in sackcloth and ashes. Basically, he's in great mourning because at this point he thinks Joseph is dead. So he's like, wow, I have the opportunity to really get out of this, but I'm not going to put my brothers to shame. So I'm just going to roll with this. Joseph, man, something else.
I said unto them, I know not, I am a slave. Then, therefore, they took counsel to sell me, that I should not be found in their hands. For they feared my father, lest he should come and execute upon them a grievous vengeance, for they had heard that he was mighty with God and with men. Then said the merchant unto them, Release me from the judgment of Pentephris. And they came and requested me, saying, Say that thou wast bought by us with money, and he will set us free. Now the Memphian woman said to her husband,
Buy the youth, for I hear that they are selling him.
Straightway she sent a eunuch to the Ishmaelites, and asked them to sell me. But since the eunuch would not agree to buy me at their price, he returned, having made trial of them, and he made known to his mistress that they asked a large price for their slave. She sent another eunuch, saying,
Even though they demand 2 minas, give them, do not spare the gold. Only buy the boy and bring him to me.
She said, I don't care about the cost. Okay. I got money and I want him. Okay. I want the boy. Me? First of all, I would have been questioning like, why do you, what you mean? Like you talking about? But apparently this must have just been a normal practice because Pentephris or Potiphar or whatever, he didn't have no questions about none of that. He like, yo, well, yeah, if he get blessed, that's what it is. She set it up in a way it was just like, hey, this is an opportunity for our household to increase in prosperity because he's with the God of Jacob, and if he works for us like he worked for the merchant, our household can increase. But that's not what she was on at all. So she like, I don't care about how much gold they want. If you don't buy this, if you don't buy him right now. Buy him now. I want him right now. I don't care how much it costs. So like I was saying earlier, her being a Memphian woman, she's rich. She's got a lot of money, a lot of power. She's got servants, and she gonna get what she want. She gonna get what she want. She gonna do what she want. It's crazy. Let's continue.
The eunuch therefore went and gave them 80 pieces of gold, and he received me. But to the Egyptian woman he said, I have given 100. Though I knew this, I held my peace, lest the eunuch should be put to shame. At first she treated me as a mother would a son, embracing me in kindness and calling me child, yet her eyes portrayed another spirit. Behind every gentle word was desire. Before her husband, she spoke praises of my virtue, telling him how faithful and pure I was, how I feared God and dishonored no man. But when we were alone, she spoke with another tongue. She promised power, whispering,
I will make thee master of this house while my husband is away. Only lie with me, and all that he possesses shall be thine.
So as soon as her husband left, she like, listen, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that. And if you give me that, you can be in control of all of this, and I mean all of this, while he's gone. And I know dudes would have folded. There's some dudes right now that have been like, yes. I know we all know somebody. We all know somebody. Either we know the wife of somebody that's done this, or we know a a dude that's been in this position and took it. You know, we know. But yeah, dudes is folding. Absolutely. Because she wasn't ugly. Especially if she not ugly and she bad. Dudes doing it over chicks is dudes doing it over the fours. We can be straight up here. Dudes are doing it over less. So a baddie proposition in this with money and power, dudes are like, absolutely win. When do you want this to happen? But not Joseph. Not Joseph. Let's go. Let's continue.
When I refused, she clothed herself in garments of splendor, and when her husband departed, she would unbind her hair, bare her shoulders, her breasts, her legs, believing beauty could undo what faith had built.
Listen to this. He said when the husband was away, she turned it up. She basically said, okay, you playing hard to get. I'm sexy. So I'm gonna wear the stuff that I wear when I'm trying to get something from my husband. All of this good looking stuff I'm gonna put on the best scents from the Nile. I'm getting you, Joseph. And what this says to me is that this is not her first time doing this. This is patterned behavior. This is something like, yo, she been doing this for a while. And now that she's run into a situation with Joseph and she's not getting it, she like, oh, okay, here's the protocol that I'm about to just run to try and get this man. I'm gonna get him. So here we are. And the books keep it real PG, right? For the most part. But I promise you, there's moments he's probably in the house and it's just her and him, and she just run up on him and grab him from behind and hug him, and she just, you know, doing the most. I'll let your imagination play with that. I don't want to go too crazy, but yeah. If she's willing to pay whatever type of money, she's willing to do all of this, offer him a position of power when the husband is away, offer to all of this other stuff and start dressing in a certain way when the husband is away. Yeah, this is pattern behavior. She's a vet. She's been here before. Let's continue.
I fasted on and off 7 years, praying for strength. And though I ate little, my face was radiant. For those who fast for God's sake are given beauty of countenance. Now,
real quick, want to touch on that. Maybe that's why in the Bible, Christ, when he's talking about when you fast, you know, don't be downcasted. And when you fast, don't tell people, because that'll be your reward. Maybe the upside of that is when you fast for the Lord's sake, you get beauty and countenance. Because Joseph is saying it here. I mean, I don't know for sure, but what I will say is that Joseph, super righteous, on point, and he fasted. He said on and off for 7 years. Because this chick is tripping. That means that this has been going on for a decade. Can you imagine this going on for a decade? She on him for a decade. Her level of lust has been going on for a decade. Wow. All right, let's continue.
The Egyptians marveled, saying, "This Hebrew is fairer than our sons." Still she came day after day, listening outside my door while I prayed, pretending sickness when her schemes failed. She sighed deeply, saying she was ill of heart, though her body was sound. When her husband asked, "Why is thy countenance fallen?" she replied,
"My spirit groans within me."
And he comforted her, she who was not sick.
All right, hold on. So now she done thrown a temper tantrum, and now she pretending to be sick because she can't get Joseph, not her husband, to sleep with her. Joseph, some random man that's now been in a household for almost a decade. She been trying for almost 10 years. And she like, okay, I am suffering. I am downcasted. I am sick. My heart is troubled. And the husband, being a good husband, he like, baby, what's wrong with you? Hey, I know some of y'all, especially some of y'all that like have cheated before. I know that y'all have had them moments where the cheating relationship is kind of going downhill, and now you mad, and your significant other like, what's wrong, baby? And you can't tell them what's wrong, so you come up with some of this. I just don't feel good, but really it's because you got some nefarious schemes going on, and you can't tell the truth, because if the truth was to come out, you lose everything. That's her right now. That's her right now. Let's continue, man.
Another time she said,
If thou wilt not commit adultery, I will kill my husband by poison and take thee to be my husband.
Oh my God. So she's taking it to a whole nother place now. She like, look, I want you so bad that I am going to poison him and get him up out of here, because I want you that bad. That means Joseph was bad. Joseph was a baddie himself. If she tripping like that, Joseph had to be, I can't even think of a dude that's cold like that. But like, she like, I'm gonna take my husband up out of here because I want you. Like, woman, chill. Like, what's up with you? What is up with you? You gotta relax. Her lust is at an all-time high. This is so crazy. Let's continue, man.
When I heard this, I tore my garments and cried, Woman, fear God. Do not this evil deed, lest thou be destroyed. Know that I will reveal thy plot to all men. Terrified, she begged me not to expose her, and afterward she sought to soothe me with gifts, sending every delight the sons of men could desire.
So she hit him with the hush money, like, all right, look, I'm bugging. That was too much. That was too much. I'm sorry. I won't do that. That was too much. Please take these gifts, the greatest gifts from the Nile. Look, she got so much power, so much money that it's nothing. It's nothing. She like, okay, fine. That's too much. Okay. Well, let's not talk about that. That never happened. Here's all of the sweetest gifts that I can possibly get you from all over. We'll just keep that between us. That never happened. Wow. She's a trip.
But her hand was still wicked. She sent me food laced with enchantments. When the eunuch...
No. All right. So she didn't lace the food with incantations to do spellcraft. Now she's like, okay, I can't get you by just my beauty. I'm going to use witchcraft. I'm gonna put a spell on you. Now this makes me wonder if that's where the spaghetti stuff comes from, because nothing's new under the sun, right? So it had to come from somewhere. I think maybe this is the precursor to that. Like, hey, back in ancient Egypt, they was using enchantments. Now she doing something to the spaghetti. If you know, you know, right? All right, let me stop.
Brought the dish. I looked up and beheld a terrible angel standing beside him, holding a sword. Then I knew her design was to beguile me. When the eunuch departed, I wept and touched no food, nor any that she sent thereafter. Later she came and said,
Why hast thou not eaten?
So she like, okay, I put enchantments on the food, and you should have been up here giving me what I wanted 3 days ago. Something's up. I gotta see what the hell is happening. So she pop up talking about, why haven't you eaten any food? Because you done did something to the food. What are you talking about? Let me take it back, man.
Guile me. When the eunuch departed, I wept and touched no food, nor any that she sent thereafter. Later she came and said,
Why hast thou not eaten?
I answered, Because thou hast filled it with deadly charms. Thou sayest thou worshippest the Lord and not idols, yet behold, thy works are of demons. Know this, the God of my father has revealed thy wickedness to me by his angel. I have kept the proof, if perhaps thou mightest see it and repent, and that thou mayest learn that sorcery has no power over the pure. Behold, I will eat before thee. Then I prayed aloud, O God of my fathers, and thou angel of Abraham, be with me. And I ate.
I know her heart was in her ass at this point. I know she was like, because only she knew. Only she knew that. So for him to be like, yo, you did something to the food, you put enchantments in, I know she was like, oh, you would have thought that she, you would have thought she would have stopped. You'd have thought she would have stopped. But apparently no. Apparently no. She did not. She was not done. She's not done at all. Let's continue.
When she saw that nothing harmed me, she fell upon her face at my feet, weeping. I lifted her up and warned her, and she promised to sin no more, yet her heart still sought evil. She looked for new snares to trap me, and when she found none, she grew sullen and desolate. Her sighs filled the house, though no sickness plagued her. At last she rushed to me, crying,
If thou wilt not lie with me, I will hang myself or cast myself from the cliff.
See,
Oh my God. So now we've gone from her poisoning her husband to her trying to put witchcraft on him through food. Now she like, okay, none of that's worked. I know that you care about life. So I am going to end my life if you don't give me what I want. If you don't give me what I want, I'm going to do that. And I know it's some dudes out there that have done this, that have been like, if you don't want to be with me, I'm going to jump off the top of the like, I know some dudes out there that's been on that. And you need some help. You need to relax. Don't ever do that no more. Chill out. Chill out. For real. No, stop. Don't do that. That is not the way. I know some women that are like that too, but dudes, y'all notorious for that. Stop that. Knock that off. You need to do better. But she's serious. She like, I will take myself up out of here. What does Joseph have to say about this? Let's continue.
seeing the spirit of Beliar upon her, I prayed, Why, wretched woman, art thou troubled and blind through sin? Remember, if thou kill thyself, Asteho, thy husband's concubine, will beat thy children, and thou wilt die in shame. She answered,
Then thou lovest me. Only strive for my life and my children, and in time I shall enjoy my desire also.
But she knew not that I spoke only for her soul's sake, for those enslaved to lust hear every good word as an invitation to evil.
Joseph got bars, dog. That is a bar. That is a absolute bar. Let me take it back, man.
My desire also.
But she knew not that I spoke only for her soul's sake, for those enslaved to lust hear every good word as an invitation to evil.
Those that are enslaved to lust hear every good word as an invitation to evil. When you thirsty, you just hear everything is a green light. Everything is a green light. Man, let's continue.
It was about the 6th hour when she departed from me. I fell to my knees before the Lord and prayed through the day and the night, weeping for deliverance from her snare. Then came the moment of fury. She seized my garments, dragging me toward her bed. In madness, she clung to me with both hands. When I saw that she would not release me, I tore myself away and fled naked. Holding my garment, she screamed aloud, falsely accusing me. When her husband returned, he believed her lies, and I was cast into prison.
Dang. And here's the difference between this and in the Bible is in the Bible, it's like she just had a piece of his garment. She had his whole garment and he was naked. So there was no, cause like they like, yo, why are you naked? Why, you know, it's kind of hard to debunk that. And clearly Potiphar Pentephorus, you know, he loves his wife, so he gonna hear that and be like, yo, you tried to sleep with my beautiful wife after everything that I've done for you, and that, you know, and now you just in jail or worse. So that sucks because he been playing it straight, and a lot of people at this point are like, wow, I did everything right, and here I am getting ready to get thrown in jail. Wow. Okay. All right.
The next day, he scourged me and sent me bound into Pharaoh's dungeon, Yet even there, the Lord did not forget me. The Egyptian woman was tormented by guilt. She heard how I gave thanks and sang hymns in the darkness, rejoicing in God who freed my soul from her desire.
He in jail like, yes, Lord, praising him. Like, I am so glad you got me away from this woman. I'd rather be in jail than dealing with her. You know how bad it's gotta be if jail is better than dealing with something else? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Often she sent messages.
Consent to fulfill my wish, and I will release thee from thy bonds.
Oh, okay. Hey, no, she's really something. Now this is it goes from being, what's the word? Like, this is evil, because at this point it's like, I am going to leverage your freedom. I will get you freed if you sleep with me. Come on. I know you don't want to be in that cold cell eating that type of food. You lived in luxury, lavish luxury when you were in when you were in my house. I know she didn't say Potiphar's house. Hey, she said my house. You was in my house. You're in my house. You lived in luxury. You got to dress yourself in the finest of linen. You got to see me all the time. Consent to this, and I'll set you free. Wow. She's leveraging this man's freedom in order for that to occur, for her desire, for her lustful desire to be fulfilled. This is where she's at now. Wow.
But not even in thought did I yield.
Not even in thought. He looked at that message and was in scoff. Just filth away from me.
God loves the man who, when her husband returned, he believed her lies, and I was cast into prison. The next day, he scourged me and sent me bound into Pharaoh's dungeon. Yet even there, the Lord did not forget me. The Egyptian woman was tormented by guilt. She heard how I gave thanks and sang hymns in the darkness, rejoicing in God who freed my soul from her desire. Often she sent messages.
Consent to fulfill my wish, and I will release thee from thy bonds.
But not even in thought did I yield. For God loves the man who, in a den of wickedness, joins fasting with chastity, more than the man who in king's chambers lives in luxury and license. Many times, though sick, she came secretly to hear my voice as I prayed. When I heard her groanings, I kept silence. For when I was in her house, she would bare her arms, her breasts, and her legs, seeking to entice me. She was beautiful, splendidly adorned, but the Lord guarded me from her devices.
So when that didn't work, she was like, well, if I could just hear his voice. She was so obsessed and so consumed by her lust and sin that after all else failed, she said, I'm just going to come listen to you pray while you're in jail. You sent me here in jail. What? like, are you serious, woman? Oh, man. And a lot of dudes in that situation would have been in jail and got that proposition of like, come on, just let's make it happen. And then they would have did it. They would have even been in that position in the first place. They would have even been there. They would have been in jail. They'd have been like, I'm already clapping this. But if the dude that played it straight all the way through there, he probably would have been like, wow, I did all of this stuff right, tried to believe in God, and now I'm in jail. Now I get this proposition. You know what? All right, it ain't so bad. Let me just get out of here. Let me get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And then there you go. Who knows how the story would have went if Joseph had succumbed to that level of temptation. Because as you hear, he said that she was beautiful. Beautiful. This ain't no ugly chick doing this. We talking about this is at least a 9. This is at least a 9 that's like shooting. She's shooting her. She ain't even shooting her shot. She is using all of her power to try and make something like this happen. And again, this is not a new thing. She's done this before. Absolutely, she's done this before. Joseph ain't her first. This ain't her first go at it. Absolutely not. This is not her first go at it. I refuse to believe it, because it's too calculated. There's too many different steps of how she wants to get what she wants. Too many. So let's continue.
You see, therefore, my children, what great things I endured, that I should not put my brethren to shame. Do you also, therefore, Love one another, and with long-suffering hide one another's faults, for God delights in the unity of brethren, and in the purpose of a heart that takes pleasure in love. When my brethren came into Egypt, they learned that I had returned their money unto them, and upbraided them not, but comforted them. After the death of Jacob, my father, I loved them more abundantly, and all things whatsoever he commanded, I did very abundantly for them. I suffered them not to be afflicted in the smallest matter, and all that was in my hand I gave unto them. Their children were my children, and my children were their servants. Their life was my life, and all their suffering was my suffering. All their sickness was my infirmity. My land was their land, and their counsel my counsel. And
he never held a grudge. Joseph never held the grudge. He never held the grudge. Even after the fact, even becoming like the quote-unquote king of Egypt, he never held a grudge. He was like, look, I love my brothers, and even though they were against me, they even sought to kill me, I love my brothers, and I'm subservient to my brothers to make sure that they good. Whatever problem that they got, it's my problem. My children are their servants. And this is the king of Egypt, quote-unquote, at this point. Wow, the character of Joseph, man, amazing. Let's continue.
Exalted not myself among them in arrogance because of my worldly glory, but I was among them as one of the least. If you therefore walk in the commandments of the Lord, my children, he will exalt you there and will bless you with good things forever and ever. If any man seeks to do evil unto you, do well unto him, and pray for him, and you shall be redeemed of the Lord from all evil. Behold, you see that out of my humility and long-suffering I took unto me a wife, the daughter of the priest of Heliopolis. 100 talents of gold were given me with her, and the Lord made them to serve me. He gave me also beauty as a flower beyond the beautiful ones of Israel, and he preserved me unto old age in strength and in beauty, because I was like in all things to Jacob. Hear now, my children, also the vision which I saw. There were 12 hearts feeding, and the 9 were first dispersed over all the earth, and likewise also the 3. I saw that from Judah was born a virgin, wearing a linen garment, and from her was born a lamb without spot. On his left hand there was as it were a lion, and all the beasts rushed against him, and the lamb overcame them, destroyed them, and trod them under foot. Because of him the angels and men rejoiced, and all the land. These things shall come to pass in their season, in the last days. Do you therefore, my children, observe the commandments of the Lord, and honor Levi and Judah, for from them shall arise unto you the Lamb of God, who...
And so what we're hearing here is that even in that time period before Moses, there was the concept of Jesus Christ, the Savior that was going to come and fix things, which is amazing because it's like, yo, this is before the prophets. This is years, like so many years before the prophets were ever in the picture. Moses hasn't even hit the scene yet, and we already have this concept, this vision that Joseph has. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Takes away the sin of the world, one who saves all the Gentiles in Israel. For his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, which shall not pass away. But my kingdom among you shall come to an end, as a watcher's hammock disappears after summer. For I know that after my death, the Egyptians will afflict you, but God will avenge you, and will bring you into that which he promised to your fathers. But you shall carry up my bones with you, for when my bones are being taken up thither, the Lord shall be with you in light, and Beliar shall be in darkness with the Egyptians.
Thus Joseph endured the trial of temptation, and in resisting the fire of lust, he became a living flame of holiness. Where desire sought to destroy, purity prevailed, and the name of Joseph was sanctified forever.
And that was the testament of Joseph. If you listen closely, you can feel the weight of his life. You can feel the pressure he lived under and the way God carried him through every moment. Joseph didn't overcome because he was perfect. He overcame because he stayed faithful, he stayed aligned, stayed disciplined when everything around him tried to break him. And the truth is, a lot of us is walking through our own version of that right now. Some of you are fighting temptation nobody sees. Some of you are dealing with pressure you never asked for. Some of you are dealing with people lying on your name or trying to pull you into something that would destroy your future if you gave into it. Joseph's story teaches us this. When God has called you, the enemy will send anything and anyone to pull you off your assignment. But if you hold your ground, stay focused, stay faithful. God will do exactly what he did for Joseph. He'll elevate you in his timing, not yours. So my encouragement today for you is this, and it's simple. Stay disciplined, stay aligned, stay close to God. Your patience is not wasted. Your obedience is not being ignored, and your story is not over. If you want me to cover the rest of the 12 patriarchs, let me know in the comments. I love you. God loves you. Make good choices. Make sure you drink water. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.